lot of us have seen footage from a dash cam. Whether we've seen a video on the internet or on the news, whether it's a car crash or a forest fire or even a meteorite falling from the sky, dash cameras have caught some amazing footage. I think for most of us though, we want a dash cam to protect us. We want that to be filming, so if we're in an accident or something happens, we've got evidence that we weren't at fault, or that the driver of the other vehicle or something else has done something that we can't normally prove, but now we can back it up with video footage. So I think we all agree having a dash camera is a great idea, but what dash camera should you buy? There are so many dash cameras on the market today. Which one is the best one to get? Well, I highly recommend the Thinkware x330. There are some amazing features that Thinkware has that no other manufacturer has. So I'm going to go over some of the great features of this new dash camera. Everything you need to get started is included in the box. Let's open it up and take a closer look and see what's included. Now here's some features that the dash cam has, which I'll go over later, but let's take a look and see what's included. Now we'll just open up the front here. Got the X330. Now we have the camera itself. Okay, so there we go. That's the most important thing. You get a micro SD card with a micro SD adapter. So the card goes in the camera, and then if you want to play in the back of the computer, you can use this supplied adapter. Now also we get these little adhesive little holders here. This is to help hold the cord, which you may need to use. They also include the windshield mount in the pack here, and even an extra 3M sticky tape in case you want to reposition or use it in a different car. And of course the cigarette lighter, which you need for cord, which plugs into your cigarette lighter for power, or 12 volt. And silica gel, which with reminder not to eat it. And of course, in the last thing here is instructions. So everything you need is included. Let's put it together and try it out. Installing the Thinkware dash cam is so easy. Let me show you how. Now that I'm in the car, the first thing I want to think about is where I'm going to mount the dash cam. Now, I want to mount it fairly high, and there's a couple of good reasons why I want to do that. Number one, having it high gives me a good field of view, so the recording is going to give me a nice wide view of everything on the road. And secondly, keeping it high and out of the way, it won't obstruct my vision, so I've got a clear view of the road. We have to think, where do we want to put the dash cam? And usually just up behind the rear view mirror is the best spot. There's a few reasons for that. One, we don't want to have it in front of us. It's going to block our vision. Also, in the passenger side, it's going to block their vision. And also, it's not in the center of the vehicle. We want to have it in the center so the wide-angle lens can capture everything in its view. Also, don't worry about if you can't see the screen, because you're not going to be looking at that when you're driving. You're just going to use it for adjusting things or setting different buttons or playing back. So what we need to do is take this 3M device, we're going to stick it to the windshield, and then stick the dash cam up there. Now, I'm using the 3M, not a suction cup mount, and I'll tell you why. When mounting the Thinkware dash cam, it comes with an adhesive mount, not a traditional suction cup mount. Now, I was a little bit surprised by this, and I couldn't have been more wrong about this. I thought, well, it should come with a suction cup mount because everything else I've used has come with a suction cup mount. But let me tell you why this is a bad idea, and I should have thought about this. I've had a dash cam before, I've had other devices where I've stuck to my windshield, and no matter how hard I kept that windshield clean, it ended up falling off. We have a lot of extreme temperatures from cold to warm, and what ends up happening is that suction cup will eventually loosen and it'll fall. Maybe it'll fall and your device will be okay, but one time it might fall and actually break your unit. And that's something you don't want. But the most important reason, and I never thought about this, was vibration. Take this ruler for example. The further I bring it out and hit it, I have more play. But as I get closer, there's less and less vibration. So when it's out here, lots of vibration. When I bring it close, there's a lot less vibration. Well, think of your suction cup mount. When that's on your windshield and your dash cam is hanging below, there's a lot of distance between the dash cam to the windshield. And any little bump or vibration is going to cause your dash cam to move more, so your picture's not going to be as good. Also, sticking down can also impair your vision. But the most important thing is for a steady picture. So use the 3M mounting, and it keeps your dash cam close to the windshield so it's tight, it won't fall off, and you're going to get a much better picture. Now that the windshield mount is attached, we're going to plug the cigarette lighter cord or the 12-volt power cord into the camera. But first what we're going to do is we're going to slide the camera back on here. I don't know if you can see that too good. And we're just going to put the power cord in like that. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take the cord and we're going to take it and wrap it around, snake it underneath, and then plug it in. I'll show you how to do that. To make this cord almost invisible, what I'm doing is just peeling back the rubber and putting the cord underneath it. And I'm going to do this for the entire length. I'm just going to run the cord underneath this rubber part here. I've ran the cord right underneath this molding so it's completely hidden and looks like a custom install. The last thing we need to do is find our power outlet. We may have to open up and then plug it in, and we're done. Okay, now the installation is complete. We've got the camera mounted to the windshield. We've got the wire ran up around underneath the molding, underneath and plugged in. It only takes a few minutes and you're set, ready to go. Have you ever heard the term, it's what's on the inside that counts? Well, that is so important when it comes to dash cams. And what's on the inside of this Thinkware dash cam is a Sony Exmor sensor. Sony makes some of the best sensors out there. And why that's so important in a dash cam is, number one, this camera records in full 1080p high definition. You want to capture every little bit of detail. If you're involved in an accident or you see something that's important, and the dash cam records that, if you need to go back and collect that evidence, you need to be able to see things clearly. And being able to record in high def with that good sensor means you're going to get very clear pictures. But what's also important is not only do you need clear pictures, you need to have a sensor that can work well in all kinds of lighting conditions. A lot of times we're driving, we're in different types of traffic, we're in light, bright light, low light, driving at night with headlights. There's a lot of contrast. The Sony sensor can pick up those details that other dash cameras can't. And the whole idea of having a dash camera is we need to rely on that footage. So having a very good quality sensor, like the Thinkware has, is so important. Thinkware dash cams have some really unique features that set them apart from all the competition. And one of the most important features, I feel, is the built-in thermal protection. Now you might be asking, what's that? Well, have you ever left your smartphone in your car on a hot day, and when you go to use it, it doesn't work? Sometimes actually a picture of a thermometer will come up on the screen saying, don't use it, it's too hot. Well, inside your phone is a battery, and what it's telling you is that battery is hot, and if you use the device while the battery's hot, it can damage the unit or damage the battery. So there's some pretty sophisticated sensors in there telling you don't use your phone until it cools down. Now, most dash cameras have a built-in battery. Now, if it's sitting on your dash in the hot sun, what do you think is going to happen? It's going to bake that unit, and it's going to bake the battery inside. And every time you turn the car on and off, having that battery in there can actually damage or short the unit out. Now, what's special about Thinkware is there's no built-in battery. So it has thermal protection. It can work at cool or hot temperatures. It won't get damaged by sitting on your dash. And there's also another great feature. You can get an additional hardwiring cable where you can have this plugged into the underneath, and where it's hardwired into your car, and this can be set up as a security camera. And what it can do, you can set it to motion, and while your car's sitting there, it's like a security DVR. And anytime there's motion, it can be set to record. Now, some other cameras have that feature, but with their built-in battery, it might last 20 or 30 minutes at most. This, being hardwired into your car, can mean your car now is set as a security system, so even if you're not driving, you can have your car set there to record anything that might happen. Another amazing feature of the Thinkware x330 is its format-free technology. Now, what does that mean? Well, think about it as set it and forget it. Now, most of us who had dash cams or use dash cams now, ask yourself, when's the last time you formatted the memory card inside the dash cam? If you're thinking about it, it means you probably haven't done it. a lot of times you forget. The memory card in there, you don't even think about it, it just goes and goes. Now what happens over time, that memory card will get corrupted. And the worst thing, the last thing you want to have happen is you're involved in an accident and you need to get that footage, and you've gone to the trouble of buying a dash camera, and then you go to review the footage and it's not there or it's corrupted. It doesn't help you. Well, with the new X330, it has special technology that rewrites over the card so it doesn't have to be formatted. So you can truly set it and forget it. The Thinkware x330 is an amazing dash camera, and I didn't have time to go over all the great features, but I hope you can see why choosing Thinkware is a great choice for a dash camera. Now, quality is important. The Thinkware has the built-in Sony Exmor sensor and records in 1080p HD. So that means everything that's recorded is going to be crystal clear and sharp. So if you have to go back and check or review footage, you know it's going to capture all the detail you need. Also, having the camera that is worry-free, meaning you can set it and forget it. You don't have to worry about formatting cards. You don't have to worry about it sitting in the hot sun, because the camera has built-in thermal protection. You don't have to worry like other dash cameras if it's sitting in the sun that it can damage it. Also, it can also be hardwired into your car, and you can use it for parking your car and keeping it protected. You can leave your camera, it's like a built-in security system that records even when you're not there. Little things like the mount that adheres to the windshield. It's a 3M, so it's going to stick to your windshield. It's not going to fall off. And because it holds the camera close to the windshield, it's not going to get a lot of vibration like you would with a suction cup. So there are a lot of great reasons why choosing a Thinkware dash cam is the right choice. So get yourself a dash cam and safe driving, my friends.